I'm Molly with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program, and today we're going to make skillet mac and cheese. I've just washed my hands, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is heat up our skillet. You can do this on the stove top or an electric skillet like I have here. We're going to take our first ingredient, which is 3 tablespoons of butter, and put it in our skillet. Melt that down. The next thing we're going to add is a half of a large onion that's been chopped finely. We want to cook our onion until it's soft and translucent. The next thing we're going to add is our spinach. I did fresh spinach that I've already washed and I chopped. I did 3 cups of fresh spinach, or you could do frozen spinach. Either one is fine. 3 cups may sound like a lot, but since it cooks down so much, it really isn't going to be as much as you think. So we've got our onion and our spinach and our butter in here. We're going to mix this around until our spinach wilts. Okay, the next thing we're going to add is 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I've already pre-measured this. We're going to just sprinkle this in, and this is going to help make our sauce for the macaroni and cheese. It's going to coat that onion and spinach so that when we add our liquids, it's going to help thicken it and make the sauce. Stir constantly while you incorporate this. The next thing I'm going to add is our milk. I had 1% milk, so that's what I am going to use. You can use whatever milk you have on hand. Of course, skim or 1%, it's going to be lower in fat than whole milk. So we've got 3.5 cups of our milk that we're going to add slowly. And then we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of water. Now I've cooled this down, so I want to bring it back up to a boil, a low boil. Kind of mix it all up. It might start to thicken because of that flour we added. Okay, the next thing we're going to add is our uncooked macaroni. I was able to find whole wheat elbow noodles to use for our macaroni and cheese. If you can't find whole wheat elbows, you could use rotini or penne or whatever is available in the store. Of course, if you can find whole wheat, that's a great way to add some extra fiber to your diet and some whole grains. We've already got the calcium covered. So I'm just going to let this come up to a little bit of a boil that'll help thicken the sauce. Okay, I'm going to add our noodles. Make sure they're completely covered by the liquid. If they aren't completely covered by the liquid, then we are going to add a little bit more water to ensure that all the macaroni is covered, because it's going to absorb all that liquid as it cooks. And we're going to cover and simmer this for about 8 to 10 minutes. Covering it is going to help speed up the cooking process. So even if you're doing this on the stove, you want to make sure that you've got it covered, and it will thicken as it simmers. So we'll check in with this in a few minutes. Okay, so I let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, and I stirred occasionally during that time. And I'm checking my noodles, and the liquid is all absorbed. Noodles are soft, so I'm going to turn off the heat and add my cheese. Now, I could have bought a bag of pre-shredded cheese, but I really saved a lot of money by buying a block of cheese and shredding it myself. So that's just a little tip that you can use when you shop. So mix in our cheese, and you could mix different cheeses in here depending on what you have on hand. I think I used a mild cheddar. So I'm just gonna mix this up. The heat is melting the cheese. Looks delicious. If you don't like spinach, you could always use peas and carrots or broccoli. But that added vegetable is just a great way to add some vitamins and minerals into your dinner. So now I'm going to put the lid back on, and for 5 minutes, this is going to sit and continue to melt. But for the sake of our video, I'm going to dish out some mac and cheese made in the skillet in no time at all. Looks delicious.